You good?
Yep, start streams all up and going.
Sound.
If you just want to take grid start,
Grid
I'll go
start.
finish line. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, cool.
got it sorted. Right, go on mute and I'll do the intros.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to the season opener in the European Racing League as we head to San Marino for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It is the first full season for ERL as we have 20 drivers ahead of us who all seek the crown of being the champion of the Tier 1 division. Our season opener takes us to the northern part of Italy to a small island known as San Marino. The track measures out 4.9 kilometres, has 19 turns, 7 to the right and 12 to the left. One long DRS zone down our pit straight, but overall not a lot of opportunities for overtaking. So having a straight line car and being very well positioned will get you a high position in today's race. This is the first round of the Tier 1 Championship. I'm Spray. I'm joined by Ology for today as we head into our first qualifying session of the year. How are you, Ology?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Nice to be back and good to see the season opener.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
hopefully an exciting round.
Well, I would say I remember who won the season opener, but I don't. I think it was Takax. I think.
I have no idea. um, all I know, we got 20. Well, we got a full grid, 20 drivers, and a very challenging track overall, which is, to be fair, one of my more favourite on the F1 games. I'm not sure about you. If you like
I'm
Imola,
actually quite good at it this year.
yeah, it's a nice little track. Obviously, it's a track that brings back a lot of memories to those who were around in the Senna days and the Schumacher Alonso days. You know, good fights here you can have overall.
Obviously, there has
Yeah,
been a lot of memorable fights, not only in the F1 version, but in real F1. We had Maldonado versus Schumacher in 2005. We had Alonso versus Schumacher, with Alonso holding out in his little Renault. We've had obviously
yep,
Senna Schumacher, where we all know what happened.
yep.
Even had Mansell a few times. So there is a lot of opportunities for close racing. However, it's all about being precise. This track offers a lot of different opportunities. There's a lot of chicanes. It's a lot of tight right-handers. There's a variation to medium, low, and all high-speed corners. So having a really balanced car setup will probably enable you to have the best possible chance of winning today. Being too biased in either straight line speed or being too biased in the corners will eventually hurt you. Obviously, in a track like this, maybe the straight line speed will benefit you a bit more in terms of defending positions, but if you want pure lap time base driving, you need high downforce, but you're going to
Yeah,
struggle on the straights.
yeah, it's a very difficult compromise to get right because that straight between turn, well, the last corner and the first corner are super massively long. But yeah, so if you're pretty much like got no downforce or too much downforce, you're going to be a bit of a sitting duck in the race. And
Yeah.
if you want lap time, then you got to go for the more high downforce race setup overall. Um, but first lap time on the board from Lange. Is that Lange or Lange?
I think it's Langer, maybe? Or Lang? I'm not sure.
Or Lang, yeah, Lang. Lang 200, a 118.3. That's a
Bit,
decent-ish lap
I
time.
think it's a bit slow. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Look, I've just been kind. As Iron Kid immediately goes to the top with a 16.0. That's a very good lap time, probably more in the region of
Yeah.
where you'd need to be. Probably a 15.5 to a 15.0 is going to be the pole lap around here,
You know what? I
I'd
totally agree
say
with that.
maybe. Um, Maybe even a 114 to
No, I think a
be good.
114 is a bit too ambitious. Maybe. Okay, so I haven't actually done time trials on this lap. I'm gonna be honest. I've not really touched this track all year.
Well, we've got a 15.5 already.
Yep, that is from
So,
Christoph, who I don't recognise. I think he did not race in the opener. If anyone is watching, can you remind me who won the opener? I know it was Matthias up there. I know it was Kakax up there. I don't think it was a nice job. I don't really know who it was, despite it being last week. Obviously, Rahman just put his car into P6.
the only thing I would say though, that was pre-season.
It
Let's
was
not forget.
Kakax, yeah, it was Kakax. Thought so.
So, pre-season don't mean a lot if you don't score points officially. That's how I view it. I don't know about you.
I mean, it's realistically just an indicator of where you're
Yeah,
going to be, but you can still take some pointers out of it. Appledorn just puts his car into second place there as well.
you can always learn from pre-season, but when the gloves come off, sort of thing, and the punches start swinging, then that's when you find out who really's got the pace. And the 14.8, so we're already into the 14s,
Yep, that is the
which
new
is
provisional pole time for the
pretty
Ferrari
impressive.
in essentially Italy. If anyone is from San Marino here, don't get offended, but it is essentially Italy. It's just like the second home of Ferrari at this point,
Well, this is the home of Ferrari.
technically.
It literally is. I mean, the only one that is more Ferrari home is, I think, Maranello.
Maranello, yeah.
Um, oh no, not Maranello. I'm on about Mugello.
Oh,
Mugello the
Magello,
track.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Maranello. Of course, Maranello's where Ferrari are based. But yeah. Also, AlphaTauri. This is effectively the home race for AlphaTauri because Monza isn't. Monza's kind of in between these two. Monza's a
Yeah.
bit further, I think, up or down.
I don't think I've ever seen
Um,
an AlphaTauri fan before, though.
well, I suppose if you support Red Bull, you might.
Yeah, I guess you kind of have like, it's kind of like your law, you have to follow them.
Yeah, like if or even if like one of your drivers, your favorite drivers, because I don't know whether you support a team or a driver. Um,
Lance
but
Stroll,
yeah,
baby.
Lance Stroll.
I wish I
Are you
was joking.
serious?
I wish I was joking.
Lance. To
It's
be fair,
funny.
I do like Lance Stroll.
He did a good job yesterday. Or yeah, yesterday. He got a bit done
Yeah,
over the strategy, but he did okay.
yeah,
However, in
no.
recent weeks, it has been very hard to say it with confidence.
Still, the Mercedes. I think Charlie Harris is on a decent lap here now.
Yeah, but
Um,
he did try an opener on the medium tire, but he did
yeah,
invalidate his lap, which I didn't call. But we
yeah.
should probably stop talking about real F1 and talk about ERL because that is actually what we are here for. Charlie Harris across the line, P5 for the Mercedes, with his teammate sat into 10th place. I've got a quick prediction because obviously you went here for the opener, and
Yep.
apparently neither was I because my knowledge is that bad of it. Who is your prediction for the championship and the constructors?
Well, terms of who I've seen impress me, like based on the drivers I know. I think Williams have got a decent lineup with George Matt and Lange. They'd be pretty good. Red Bull could be good in the constructors.
Yeah.
Ferrari, I've seen Takas actually perform now on a few occasions, and he's been pretty good up there
Just as
a lot of the time.
a mention that it's not George Matt isn't the driver for Williams. It's actually Matthias who isn't here today. George is the one of the reserve drivers as he is stepping. So it is actually Matthias who is the main driver for Williams.
Right. Well, okay, so we'll forget about Williams then in this one for a little bit until next week, sort of thing then, just to see where their pace is. Ferrari's looking pretty strong so far on the times they've posted, so
Yeah,
that could be a very strong team.
I do think Bob is a reserve though. I think I'm pretty sure
But
it's
Takas is
yeah,
full time.
Takax is full time.
Yeah. So
I
he
mean,
like
for me, go on, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say based on the time Takas has done and also from what I've seen in previous like streams, he's been pretty impressive. So yeah, he's always up there most of the time.
Yeah, no, Takax is a very solid driver. Alpine does look strong. I was just about to get onto Alpine. OP Gamer is a bit far down. However, OP has got a real amount of pace, and Perez, I think, is a consistent top 8 driver, maybe even top 6. So,
Yeah.
I think on some tracks that can definitely suit him. They're going to find themselves in consistent positions. But for me, I think AlphaTauri may win it. Nice job, who has been struggling over the past few games. I'm not going to lie, but don't have a go at me, nice job. He has not had the greatest amount of luck in terms of keeping his car on the road. He used to spin a lot, and when he did have pace, he didn't really get the opportunity to show it. But for this game, nice job is unreal. Like
Yeah.
he this is the game for him. So I can really think he can fight up the top. I mean, even his pace in the GRL races we host on Saturdays, he was unlucky not to win because he had a quali ban, and he still won
Well,
the opener as well. Obviously,
he was.
he still had
Um,
unreal pace. And then you've got Dirk alongside him, who has got a lot more pace than what his quali time shows at the minute.
well, OP Gamer, he was quite good on Saturday.
Yes.
You know, I think I said in my stream when I did GRL, I said, well, I always like a gamer or anyone like when I say gamer, I always like someone who like lives up to their username sort of thing. And OP Gamer on one of his qualifying laps, I'm pretty sure I said lived up to his name literally because he put his car and he lives up to it again, putting his car into the top 5. You see,
Yep, absolutely.
I like that. You know, a bit
I
of
mean,
traffic though.
so who is your final choice on the constructors and the individual championship winners? And we do have our retirement, which is Iron Kid. That looks like a spin and a crash out of the first corner.
I'm gonna go for drivers. I'm gonna say um, Takas, and for constructors, I'm gonna say Alpine.
Um, it's close for drivers because I think if Takax and Nice Job can fight with each other, that would be close. However, depending on Matthias's attendance, Matthias can definitely win because it's
Yeah.
Matthias. Then, in terms
Alright.
of constructors, I'm going to go for Ferrari.
So you're gonna go for the Italians.
I think I'll go Ferrari.
Fair enough.
But it is
Right.
mainly because I'm a Ferrari driver, though.
Well, I'm a Ferrari
I
driver, as you
appreciate the
can see.
message as well, George. Glad to see you're watching.
So OP Gamers into the pits. Who's on a lap at the moment?
Oscar was on a lap. I didn't see his first sec. I think he was improving in his first sector, maybe. He's not actually using his battery, so he must not be on a lap.
Well, we should maybe watch him.
Nah,
Is
he's
that the
not using.
Alfa Romeo?
Yeah, the Alpha. Yeah, 7 seconds down. I mean, he is technically on a lap, but it's not a very good one. Nice job, 3/10 up in the first sector. This is the first opportunity I'm going to watch of Nice Job. I'm going to see how he actually drives a car. Can make me quicker at this video game. Let's see, into the left-hander. I wish I remembered the corner names, but I don't. That was Piratella. I know very few of these corner names. I probably should have done a bit more revision on them beforehand. I know he's going to drive up the hill now, up to Aqua Minerale. It's a very quick 1-2 chicane. Let's see how managed it. He is 5.5 up, and his previous climb almost invalidates now onto the double left-handers of 18 and 19. Lot of corners here. He's going to brake just before the 50-meter marker. Keep it in third, upshift to fourth, full power for the AlphaTauri across the line. DRS wide open, Nice Job puts it in second place, a 14.5 for the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, that was a decent lap. Did he lose a bit of time in the chicane?
Yeah, he did. He had a pretty poor exit.
Like, he lost a bit of, like, could have been maybe a bit closer to pole. Not sure whether he would have got pole. That 14.4, I think, is a very strong time overall. I don't think I'm not really too sure how much Takas can improve on that, to be fair.
I was wrong. The chicane is Varianta Outer, and the corner before that is Minerale. I was wrong.
To be fair, I don't have a clue on the corner names around Imola.
I completely forgot Imola had corner names.
So did I.
Also, I do it for like Silverstone, I do it for Monaco. I completely forgot Imola had corner names.
Yeah. It makes sense it does, because it is a legendary track.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's no doubt in that.
I just saw the Mercedes of Hershey put his car into the top 10. Charlie a bit behind his teammate, but Hershey will not be able to get another lap in, so that is his qualifying session over, and his final time is a 15.7. I think Dirk is also on a lap. He has got his full potential. We're just going to go on board with him through the first sector. Let's see what he can cook up. There's an Alfa Romeo just coming out of the pit lane, so hopefully he does not get blocked too heavily. That's Oscar just ahead of him, also known as Burgers, but I call him Oscar because that's what he wants to be called. Right, into the Villeneuve chicanes now. Down into fourth gear, probably downshifted one too many gears for my liking. First sector, he is a 10th up. Now, uphill into Toza. Now it's the uphill drive up to Piratella. And then he's going to go down the hill into the left-hander, into Minerale. This is turns 11, 12 and 13. Let's see how he can handle turn 11. Full power, goes off it, backs into third. Very hesitant on the power. Could have done it a bit earlier, gaining some more speed. There's a Mercedes in his way. Oh my.
That was a bad mistake.
That looked like Hershey who was getting in his way, and that's not great. However, didn't lose him too much. There's another Haas in his way. Oh my god. That is two impedings of the AlphaTauri's lap, and that was not a great sight to see. That was from, I think, Rahman, and I think that was from Hershey. It's never a nice sight.
Time to go again, though. Like, we're not going to have much on the battery. They could still...
And also, my mate, I think Hershey's also going to get slowed up on his lap here by Rahman, because they both started their hot laps at the exact same time. So if Rahman does end up being the slower car, he is going to get slowed down during his lap. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. That looks like a Ferrari or a Red Bull. Looks like a Red Bull just letting a few cars through. Hershey, a 10th up in the first sector. Rahman, also a 10th up in the first sector. Now up to Piratella. He does handle it, probably a bit hesitant. Oh, he almost invalidated. There he is, pushing the limit. Instead, he probably just went a little bit wide. Up into 8th gear into before that very short, snappy right-hander. Now into outer. He is 9/10 up on his previous lap. Hershey is 4/10 up on his previous lap. So obviously he did have enough fuel on the car to do 2 flying runs. Rahman is going to come up through Rivazza before the finish line. We'll just go on board in just a second with the front runners. Let's just see where Rahman puts his car. P7 for Rahman, P9 for Hershey. Let's quickly go to the front though. We do have a nice job, and Takax 2/10 over his first time.
Apparently, the
If
only
you
one
want to go on board with
improved.
the Ferrari, I'm going to watch Nice Job on his final run. Looks like Takax was 2/10 over in the first sector. Oscar has retired in the pit lane. Down we go through Piratella. Now through Varianta Minerali. Nice Job. Very much on the limit there. Has a little bit of snap of the rear end. The Ferrari not improving. He's 9/10 down. Nice Job.
Yeah.
2.5 tenths down. Comes through the chicane. He's handled that much better than he did previously. That is. Oh no, he's just braked. What's he done?
Not really too sure, but I think either way,
He
the
must
grids are
have
going
not
to be
improved
good
his
enough.
lap enough. He must have not improved. George
The only
Matt is
person,
700ths of a second up and he's invalidated.
yeah, I was going to say the only person improving was George Matt, but invalidated. So that won't help.
What I
But I
believe that
think
is going to be
that's
qualifying over. It is. So
in fact
Takax takes pole
Mufasa.
in Imola.
Is one not that busy? Oh no.
No, that is qualifying over. That is everything done.
Yeah.
So in the first qualifying session of the year, it is the Ferrari on pole position. Nice job, just sat right behind him though. That'll be a pretty interesting battle going into turn one.
Yep, we'll do indeed, and you know, was Nice Job in the Alpine on the GRL
Yeah,
the
he's in the
Ferrari?
Alpine.
Yeah, he was a really good the other day. I said that also in commentary. He had a difficult start of the race. Like when I say start, I remember he got tangled up in something, and then you know came through the field so nicely. So
Yeah.
you know he'll be certainly a real contender for the win.
Well,
I think he's won most.
I will just go through the race director for the first qualifying of the season. It is Kakax on pole. 14.4 is the provisional, or is the pole position time. Nice Job joins him on the second row of the grid, just 800ths of a second separating them. Christoph in third. George, who apparently had 5/10 up on his lap, did screw it up at the final corner. He sits on the second row of the grid. We have Bob Ross and Oscar on the third row, Appledorn and Rahman on the fourth, and rounding off the top 10 is Harshi and OP Gamer, followed by Perez, Charlie Harris, the duo of Red Bulls with Iron Kid and Mufasa, Zonneveld, Alfie, Dirk, Langer, Elsie, and Phantom Joker is at the back of the grid. Obviously, the weather is set to dynamic, so as what the European Racing League do to decide their weathers is they do it by accurate time. So if it was raining in San Marino right now, we would be in rain. However, I believe it was a mixture of rain and sun, so they set it onto dynamic tonight, so we could have any weather in this race, and it looks dry to me, but not sunny, so that could always throw a curveball during the Grand Prix, but for now it looks like we are going to be having a dry race.
Yeah, it does look pretty dry, but you know this track is a bit of a weird one I find on the strategy. You know, um, so either way, strategy can be pretty good around here, which can make it a bit of a spicy race anyway. I don't think you need really rain around Imola for it to be good.
No, I have to agree with that. So, as all the drivers just pick their strategies, who is your prediction for the win today?
I'm gonna say Nice Job.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Have you got any bold predictions you may want to throw at?
Bold prediction. I'm gonna go Mufasa. Why
Okay.
not? But something crazy would have to happen.
I'm
Like,
going to say that one of the Alpines will finish in the top five.
yeah, that's a pretty smart prediction. I'd say that's more smart than bold.
Oh, sorry, is that it was no formation lap set. I did not realize that. So it is 5 lights and away we go. So Nice Job takes the lead going into turn one. Takak sat right behind him. I did not realise there was no formation lap here. George Matt and all, there's one Alpine got out the equation.
And the Haas is around.
Oh my.
That's a safety car, is it? Yeah.
That's already a lot of penalties being awarded.
Yeah. OP Gamer I'm not really sure what happened to him. Rahman got spun overall, but yeah, Rahman's at the back of grid, um, which is a bit of a shame. But Mufasa is already up to 11th, who I did say, is my bold prediction. So, doing me good.
Well, going into turn one, we saw nice job take the lead of the Grand Prix. There is a few penalties being awarded, which were 5 seconds for both Appledorn and Perez. So first of all, I do apologise to Bob because I didn't realise there was no formation lap here. But if we have a quick look at the tyres, it would be the trusty medium for majority. Then a few hard runners, including Rahman, Ali, Langer, Zonneveld, Harshy, Appledorn, Chris, George, and Takax going onto the hard tyre for the start. I don't suppose there will be any pit stops. I wouldn't believe so. So unlucky to OP Gamer. Did you see what happened to him?
Didn't see what happened to them, but Appledorn and RLR got the penalties for the collisions. To be fair, you say that there should be no pit stops, but they could easily choose to come in if they wanted to get rid of those penalties.
Yes, they could have actually, but obviously you will be giving up the positions, but that's actually not a worse decision, especially if someone like Perez, who is on the medium tyre. You could go into the pit lane, put on a set of hard tyres for a while, and then get rid of your penalty. You'll be at the back of the grid, but you're going to be in a position where you aren't going to be hindered by that penalty. So maybe for Perez, I would have said it would have been a better idea, but maybe not for Appledorn. It would mean a two-stop for Appledorn while losing 12 positions. So maybe not for him. I don't think it was worth it. Because obviously he is starting on the hard tyre. He's going to go for the long stint and try on the overcut try and gain some positions during it. So just have a quick look at the position changes, which is the other way. There we go. So most of the drivers gained one, lost one. So we have Nice, George, and Oscar all gaining one. Then Bob, Christoph, and Takax all losing positions. We got a lot of gaining in the midfield for both Mercedes and both Red Bulls, all going up by 3. Obviously, that was due to a bit of the contact with the Askens and the Alpines. We have Langer up 4, and then LC from the back. And bottom of the grid is Rahman with 11 down. So obviously, not sure what happened to him. Hopefully, we should get safety car in this lap. Everyone is all nice and bunched up, but I think it has to be out for 2 laps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Again, I think it's 2 laps, so come in on the 3rd lap.
Yep, that is quite infuriating.
It is another chance, though, for Perez to set up Piers, or how do you pronounce Piers?
I think it's Perez.
Well, another chance for Perez to serve his penalty.
It's like Perez with an I.
Right. See, I'm very familiar to the Perez spelling of P-R-E-Z. Not, that's why I see it as Piers. Like Piers Morgan, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Even though I think we do have someone in, Dirk Omen. Into the stop. What is he going for? Oh, he's got a wing change. And I think he's putting on the hards, or... Yeah, onto the hards. Dirk's on. So, that's a kind of a clever move, I suppose. Get the wing change done. Put on the hards. Makes a bit of good sense.
Yep, I have to agree with that.
So yeah, safety car should be in this lap, I would have thought.
Yeah, it better be. Obviously, there's an AlphaTauri just going to go back. So technically, everyone is in an AlphaTauri sandwich. One at the back of the grid in 19th, one in 1st.
That's a big sandwich. Overall.
So hopefully he should get there in time. Although I actually think we're going to have one more lap of safety car, which is annoying to say the least.
Yeah, I think safety car is going to stay out maybe for a 4th lap, or is it?
Yep, it definitely will.
No, it's staying out.
Oh.
still, at least Aston Martin is leading. Like, for all you know, Lance Stroll could be driving that car.
Yeah, so he'll win. As he always does. He's the GOAT.
But nah. Um,
Well, while we're here, I might as well take advantage of a helmet check because gonna have the chance
yeah,
to do
you
it on the
need
formation lap.
to check.
So nice job. Actually, very very. I don't really get a chance to look at nice job because also he's in the tier but above which I commentate. Takax is looking very nice. Look like a Max Verstappen lion on the helmet. George's is very boring. Christoph's is the not match. Pink and gold on a Haas. Oscar's is using the default. Bob Ross's is very nice. I think that's the one you get from Breaking Point.
Which one?
Bob Ross.
Bob's. Yeah, I think that's yeah, Breaking Point.
Yeah.
That's.
Have you played Breaking Point yet?
I have, but I've stopped playing it. I was gonna finish it, but I haven't done it. The rest of it.
Well, I'll give the helmet of the day to Takax. I like the Verstappen lion as much as my hatred for Verstappen still lies.
What do you think of Raman's helmet?
Ramen.
Yeah.
Ramen's is quite nice, to be fair. Doesn't really go with the Haas, though. It's too colourful. There we go. Safety car is finally in the pit lane. So it will be go for whenever Nice Job wishes to choose. I just realised that all my telemetries aren't up. There we go. So it will be the medium versus the hard tyre for the battle at the front of the pack. Nice job just keeping his tyres as warm as possible to make sure he gets enough traction on the exit of whenever he decides to put his foot down. I'm going to assume it's going to be on the exit of Ravazza, and he has decided to go now. He's actually left Takax a bit far behind. That is a masker of a safety car restart. Oscar is right on the back of the Haas of Kristoff as well. This could get a bit touchy going into turn one. He is still gaining. He's not deploying his battery anymore. Does Oscar want to look inside turn one? No. Just going to back out. That is probably the smart move. So Nice Job leads from Takax. 5/10 is the gap up front. Takax is closing that though. Oscar gets the position on the Haas. There we go. Gets it into the Villeneuve chicane. The Ferrari goes off in the back, which was from Bob Ross. Appledorn slips through them all. Harshy on the inside of Bob Ross through Tozer. Harshy gets the position. That's a virtual for.
Yeah.
Looks like a bit of debris on the exit of on the entry of Tozer. We have Ali, who's gone off the track for some reason.
I think he was trying to avoid Christopher or Chriso. You know, because the Haas basically had to spin around because it had damage, basically on its front wing, and he had to. Well, the game probably gave a legal overtake or something.
Yeah, possibly. There was another few penalties awarded there, which was from LC and I think Langer for collisions. I did see that LC and Ali had a bit of a misunderstanding. Ali just tried to overtake the McLaren, and obviously he did not see him coming, so the McLaren did lose one of his front end plates.
Yeah,
so it's not
probably gonna have to pit.
Yeah, and the Haas also does not have a front wing. There is one pit stop from Iron King and from Charlie Harris, going to take advantage of the lessened pit stop time. He's going to block a pot on the soft tyre, which is a bit peculiar, but he's going to get held up in the pit lane by both the Williams and the Haas driver. Should get out ahead though, I believe. Yes, he does.
The trouble is, under this virtual safety car, they will lose less time, but now it's gone green. Effectively, it's not going to be much less time.
Yep, and there is one battle, which is Oscar and George through Piratella. They go, neither wanting to back down, but George makes it stick. Not sure if George remembers, but I did that move to him 2 years ago. I quite remember it because it's probably my best ever overtake, but I didn't record it. So, maybe George remembers it. It was intermediate conditions. I went around the outside of him, and Oscar going to look down the inside into outer. Cannot make it stick. No. But he's had a huge slap, and George is tentative on the exit. And he's also let Appledorn past him as well.
Yeah. He kind of got the switchback there, Oscar did. in my opinion, because
Well,
George went a bit deep into the into the second corner. I thought.
right. So
Um,
fastest lap of the Grand Prix goes to Takacs on the Ferrari, or with the Ferrari. George closing in on the McLaren. He's got a second gap to Harshu, so these three can kind of run away with it. Rahman actually does pick up the fastest lap of the race, and it looks like another yellow flag, and that is Bob Ross. He has lost it in the into turn 2, I believe, and yes, he has. There's another
Surely.
position change, which was Appledorn onto Oscar, and oh, that was Oscar just a bit closing the door onto Appledorn. George, no position changes up front. I didn't really get to see the full extent of what happened, but it looked like Oscar was just trying to get the McLaren out of his way. So a bit less contact next time would be a bit nicer to see. Mufasa is starting to close in now onto the Aston of Alia, or I'll just call him Al. There was loads of cars going wide there. That was Rahman and Phantom, who just had a little bit of a scrap. That was nice and good from the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, but look at the gap out in front already. It's 5 seconds between Oscar and basically the race leader. Oh, nice job. So really pulling away the two leaders so
Yeah,
far
nice job.
this race.
Fastest lap of the race. George is starting to use that DRS and that battery to his advantage to try and get ahead of Oscar and Appledorn, who have already lost almost 5 seconds to the cars ahead. I always gone Bogle and McLaren. There's another position change, which was Ali onto Perez, and I think it was Rahman onto Phantom. Then it was Bob Ross onto Dirk.
Yep.
But I think the best battle going on right now is the battle for third place. That involves George, Appledorn, and Oscar. All three of these boys not having the cleanest of races, but showing some very solid pace. Obviously, the bit less contact would be appreciated. George
Sometimes
just
though, contact is all part of the sport. I think. I don't know what you think. A little
not.
bit of wheel brushing.
Yeah, wheel
Does
brushing's
not
okay,
hurt.
but
So long
some
as
of
it's
it.
not deliberate, if you know what I mean, or too heavy.
No, absolutely. Not something that can endanger the car's race is what I kind of think is too much.
Yeah.
But the first opportunity for the overtake is going to come from Appledorn with the rear wing opening up in just a second's time. However, George is going to benefit from a much more powerful slipstream. Takacs is also closing in onto Nice Job. That battle may get a bit tasty sometime soon. The hard tyre is going to start being a bit more predominant now on these next few running laps than the medium. George 3/10ths back, Appledorn 5/10ths back from that third place position. LC picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It seems that Oscar isn't really holding them up, but more just a nuisance in the way. He's not slow enough that you're going to breeze past him, but he's also quick enough that he's just going to tease you of overtaking, but not going to let it happen through Piratella. All three of these cars go. That was an amazing camera angle, I must say. That's one thing Imola does quite well. And it looked like Oscar maybe just had a track limits violation. That's also Appledorn, who goes wide on the exit of Minerali now into Varianta Outer, the slow chicane. Who can get the best exit? George did close up much better than what Appledorn did. However, Harshy is still in this hunt trying to pick up a few pieces. There's a yellow in sector 2, which looks like Bob Ross to me. Oh, so much pace in qualifying. I think he may have just had a little bit of a wobble. But here we go. The battle for the front, or the lead of the Grand Prix is going to change on lap 10. Takacs takes the lead of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Nice job. Cannot fight it. The rear wing too powerful. Appledorn gets past Oscar for third place. However, that 3-second penalty is still going to hang above him for the next 22 laps. And Oscar is going to try and fight back onto Appledorn, but I don't think anything can come for it. Appledorn placed his car correctly. Now George is going to be able to close it to the back of them, because Oscar's going to go round the outside in toes, and he gets the position back. All of Appledorn's work is gone, and now all three of these cars separated by just 5/10ths of a second. Also, a nice job is keeping tax. And all that is one of the AlphaTauris who have gone. That's going to be our second safety car of the day. As soon as it was getting interesting.
It was getting interesting indeed. Ultimately, I feel this plays into the medium runner's hands as safety car.
Yeah, no, it really does. You can go to the end on a
Like,
hard set of
yeah.
tyres, yeah. So the medium runners will
Um,
benefit from this.
so nice job. Could be in a very, very strong position. And, that's bad news for Takas because I think Takas was, well, he had the better tyres, with more battery as well. Um, so he was
Let's have a
going to
look. So
make
Takak
a
does
better
not
job.
pit. Nice job does take the opportunity to go into the pit lane. It would be hard tyres for the AlphaTauri, so no chance of a double stacking as his teammate is the one that caused this safety car. So let's see. I'm assuming it would be the white banded tyre for Nice Job, which will take him to the end of the Grand Prix. Also in the pit
Yeah.
lane is Oscar Appledon. George Matt stays out on that hard tyre. Nice Job only in third place at the minute, so he's not really lost many positions. He's still right up to the neck of Takax, so this has really not worked in his favour. Harshy, Appledon, Ali, Perez, Mufasa, Bob, and Rahman all deciding to change their tyres, which was probably the appropriate thing to do. You can still ring out a set of medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't advise it.
No, that'd be very, very difficult. I
So
mean,
it would be 18 laps on a set of mediums, because by the time the safety car, does a few laps, I mean,
yeah.
you're going to lose like 8% of your tyre just by being behind the safety car. As long as you don't touch any curbs and stuff like that, you should be okay.
Also, the trouble is as well, like, I don't know how, well, it's not a massive, massive factor, like, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be using these cars, but the tyre wear glitch
Yeah, absolutely.
could affect Takas a bit more if he was to take on the strategy like you've just suggested to, go for mediums. Like, could he actually get? Because I think the rears get affected a bit more than the fronts, from what I've noticed at least,
Yeah.
with that glitch. Um, only like 1 or 2%, but that 1 or 2% could be costly at the end of a race.
Well, the one thing I am curious about is that there is a lapped car who is separating Takax and George, and that is the teammate of George, of Langer. So I'm curious, will Takax let him through? He doesn't seem to want to. But I mean, I
don't
would
think he
expect
has
from the
to.
leader, just out of good grace, just to let the lap car through, so just move yourself over to the side of the track and let him by. Obviously, you're not inclined to do it. It is not an exact rule that you have to do it, but out of personal preference, I would. But I don't think he's going to let him through, so he's going to keep that Williams separating them. So obviously that does benefit Takax. Obviously, Nostrom is now into 5th place on the new hard tyre, which will take him to the end of the race, probably 17, 18 laps on the hard he will have to do. Let's just go to the back of the grid so we can see some cars going at good speed. There will be another pit stop from Iron Kid, who's going to put on that looks like the soft tyre to me, which is a bold strategy to say the least. I'm not really sure what he's planning. Maybe he could do 2 soft tyre stints of 11 laps. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Yeah, could be thinking that. To be fair, there has been a few safety cars already in this race,
Yeah, there's
so
definitely going to be more.
that's the thing. Like, if there is more, then it's not a bad shout to put on soft tyres, make up positions. You're at the back of grid, nothing to lose. Um, I'm not really sure, like, how Lando's going to get back into this race.
Yeah,
Um,
well, he hasn't been let by yet, has he? No.
but I don't think the game will let him by.
No, if the leader kind of like goes off track and slows down, he will be allowed back through. Obviously, it's a bit more difficult now because obviously all the cars are going to be
Right,
affected
okay.
by it.
Yeah,
So it is possible, but I think at this
just
point
difficult.
it's a bit too late for Langer. So also, I just lost all my game audio, so I believe that glitch is back.
Yeah, I lost that on Saturday. I
I didn't
can't
realise
hear any
the
cars.
spectators get affected by it as well.
Oh, yes, they do. Literally, on Saturday, I thought my headset was
Same.
absolutely ruined.
I post
Oh,
my highlight videos of the Grand Prix. You can literally hear me on the finish line. When I finish, I go, God, my headset's dying now. And also during the Grand Prix, because my headset went really weird, like all the sound got muffled and like it went super quiet. So I was like, okay, maybe the left like speaker's broken. So I turned it back up mid race, lost a bit of time. Like then it started going. I was like,
just went silent.
and I was like, yeah. Then it went completely silent. I was like, what is going on? And over the finish line, I actually say, yeah, my headset's definitely dead now.
I thought they changed it into Formula E towards the final few laps.
It was very scary. It was so. I was trying. The goal was I was behind Fate for 5th place, and I thought there was a possibility of him getting a 5-second penalty because he had a bit of a bit of contact with Pilavidis, and I was like, okay, let's try and scale the 5-second gap. He's on fresher tyres, but I'm sort of matching his pace. I'm not really dropping too far back. And on the last corner, I lost complete audio. So I tried to do the corner in 3rd gear and went full power, and I started to lose it. I slammed on the brakes. I was like, no, I'm not losing this on the last turn. No. So I settled for my 6th place, which was still quite good. And there we go, safety car will be in. So I'm really hoping the audio glitch doesn't return, because it just makes it impossible for the drivers. Like, if the one from last year where the game was like the sound was muffled, you could still hear the engine. This is silent. It is completely silent.
Even I thought it was just.
It's not fun to drive.
Headset mid commentary, not ideal.
Let's see, when is the Ferrari going to decide to go? He's gone a bit later than what Nice Job did. George is going to look to overtake his teammate already, which he has done, because he's going to be ghosted. So Zonnevoort is going to hold on with the Williams here. He's sat in 3rd place, hasn't pitted yet on that hard tyre. And George Matt what has just happened there? What has just happened? Zonnevoort is down to 5th place. The Alfa Romeos are going to get a bit of con. I think Zonnevoort broke thinking that it was Langer who he was trying to overtake and not George Matt. So the gap up front is 1.3 seconds. Nice Job is in 6th place. Zonnevoort and Phantom are going to have a bit of touch and go in Toza. A little bit of contact, which is fine. But I mean, Nice Job gets the position onto the slower Zonnevoort. He's back to hamper his exit out of Toza. Oh, there's a load of contact at the back. And that was Appledorn, and that was the AlphaTauri, and the Aston Martin. That was I think the Alpine of Perez as well. One car has been spun. There's another position change, which was Nice Job onto Phantom. He's up into 4th place. Nice Job is flying. The Askins are going to swap positions. That is Alia getting position on Zonnevoort, and Appledorn overtaking Zonnevoort. He is rapidly dropping down the order. There's a Mercedes at the back who was spun, which was Charlie Harris going through outer. Maybe he got rear-ended, is probably what my best assumption is. Chris gets the position onto his teammate going through Rivazza. Einkid will get a huge slipstream on both Hasses here. Oscar gets the position onto the Williams of George Matt. George is not going to back this up just yet, though. Going through Tamburello, and George makes that stick. He's got his head in front of Oscar, and there we go. He does keep 2nd place for the time being. Oscar on the fresher tyre is not going to give up this hunt, though, and Oscar picks up the 3-second penalty. There will be penalties in this race, just not wanting them that early. There is another yellow flag, which looks like OC, and that's going to be another safety car.
Well, at least maybe Takas can get rid of the mediums, and same with...
yeah, he will get rid of the medium tyre, so that will mean that the hard runners aren't really going to be too heavily benefited, but no. And also the Mercedes has just crashed.
Yeah, I don't know whether them two had a tangle together in that chicane. So both of them dropped rapidly back to the back. I think a lot of things are going to go to the stewards room today.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, it's turning into a Baku-style Grand Prix. As both the leaders are in. So then...
Yep. I'm a bit surprised that Oscar hasn't pitted, so it'll be George Matt and Takax go into the pit. Now, it'll be quite interesting to see how far down Takax is going to come out. Because a lot of these drivers are going to be staying out, so this has really not benefited Takax at all. I think he's going to come in 9th place. Could be even worse, because there is a few cars coming. Just got the back. Now he's going to lose a position
Going
On
to
to
be
Charlie
outside the top 10,
Harris.
is
That'd
it?
be 10th place for
10th.
Takax and 11th for George Matt. That strategy has not gone their way. Obviously, they will have the quicker medium tyre, but that strategy has not benefited them in the slightest. So Oscar takes the lead in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Nice job, sat in second place. Ali in third as well. Let's have a quick look at the penalties for the drivers. 3 seconds for Oscar, Perez and Zonovel, then 5 for Alia and Phantom. We have a quick look at the position changes as well, because everyone has served their mandatory pit stop. So it is Ali up 13 positions, Mufasa up 9, Oscar up 5, and then we obviously have a few losers due to the strategy mishap, which is Takax and Jordan Appledorn, who have all dropped out of the top 5.
Yep.
So I believe we have had more safety car laps than actual racing laps. We're just halfway through of the 32 lap session. Does this strategy change for Takax and George worry them a bit more than they should be?
It wouldn't worry me too much because, right, the one thing Takas has got going for him, he's got great pace. We know how fast he is. Same with George Matt. And also, the other thing I'd say they've got going for them is they Alfa Romeo out in front of Oscar, who's been pretty fighty today with
Yeah.
his rivals. I'm not saying he's going to end up taking anyone out, but he's certainly willing to get his elbows out and defend, which, he's not going to give up that first place easily to Nice Job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight to watch in the opening laps of this safety car restart. And also, another driver who I think we should watch is Ali,
Yes.
because he's done really well to get up into the position he's got up into so far. It might not be the quickest so far today, but yeah, done really, really well.
Well, I'm just having a quick look at the strategies for most drivers. I also think that the one stop is a predominant strat. Maybe 2 stops for maybe a wing change or some sort of collisions. But Iron Kid is currently on 4 pit stops, which is not as many as I thought I'd be thinking. Let's have a quick look at the tyre situation. So it's going to be the hard versus the medium, and to the end of the Grand Prix. The one person I'm going to be looking out for is Bob Ross, who is very quick, but he's been tangled up in a few collisions. So, but he's back in the 4th place. He's on the same tyre as everyone else. I think he can be a real threat to Oscar and Nice Job and Ali. Obviously, Takax is going to have to do a bit of work and get through the field. But it is the 3rd safety car restart we are going to spectate. Safety car is going to start driving into the pit lane. It will be Oscar's opportunity to try and lead it properly. What's happened?
At the back, the lap car trying to let everyone through caused a bit of a collision between George and Takas. It has, I think it might have been, not sure why, but yeah.
Well, we have to quickly just go to the front of the grid. When is Oscar going to decide to put his foot down? It was now, but he scumbled it. He over-revved his engine, so he didn't get a lot of traction. However, Nice Job was caught out by it, and Ali is getting a huge run onto the AlphaTauri. There's a position swap out the back. That is George Matt, who is pitted. He's got a broken wing.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh my, I didn't think he had a broken wing. Nice Job. It's going to start climbing in on this Alfa Romeo now. Ali going to start gaining. Bob Ross in the Ferrari, not out of the hunt just yet. Takax cannot gain any positions just yet. Let's go on board with the Ferrari, who is currently stuck behind Charlie Harris. He's going to go around the outside of Toza. Charlie gives him the room. Let's see who gets the better traction. It will be Takax on the fresher medium. Down into Piratella now. Takax versus Charlie Harris, and Charlie Harris breaks the latest. Takax not going to give this up just yet, though. Down into Minerali. Takax gets the position. That was superb driving. Perez also overtakes the Haas of Kristoff. Mufasa falls behind the Haas as well, but he's now got the Ferrari of Takax on his back. Nice Job. He's going to try and go for the Grand Prix lead. Oscar has the inside line. He's not going to be able to get it done just yet. Nice Job. It's just begging for this move to happen now. He's so much quicker. ERS activated for the AlphaTauri. They're both going to start deploying their batteries. Let's see how quickly Noisjob can go. There we go. Noisjob has the inside line into Tamburello. Noisjob will take the lead of the Grand Prix. Oscar cannot do anything about it. He's going to try and go for a switchback, but he's got nowhere near enough pace for the AlphaTauri. He has to now try and extend that lead and make sure he builds up enough of a gap to make sure that Takacs is not in a position where he can fight near the front. Ali is going to get very close now onto Oscar as well. All three of these cars are going to start scrapping it out as Noisjob goes ahead. There's another retiring. That's going to be another safety car.
Wow, a fourth safety car of the day. This is turning into a very intriguing race. But hopefully this will be the last one as well. So it'll be interesting now to see if the hard runners maybe make a stop onto the softs, or if anyone goes for that strategy.
I wouldn't believe so.
Softs. No, you don't think so?
No.
Fair enough.
I didn't really see anyone. I don't think it's that much of a benefit to stop onto the softs. You're going to have to get through a lot of a gap in a track where it's difficult to overtake. Oscar is going to take that gamble. So is Alia. Perez is going to stay out. Crisco is going to stay out. Rahman's going to stay out. So is Takacs. Iron Kid, Apple Dawn, Mufasa. Zordo's going to pit. Like, I think it's too much of a risk losing those positions just to get on a fresh set of tyres, because this track is not easy to overtake.
This though has worked out quite nicely for Takas, who's now up into 6th, though. That will be a bit more better for him. And Bob Ross is up into 2nd, so yeah, be interesting to see now his pace truly in this race, because he was quick in qualifying.
Yeah. Well, we're on our 4th safety car of the Grand Prix. It has been very long.
Yep. Hopefully this is going to be definitely the final safety car of the race.
Hopefully.
Been eventful. Do you like Grand Prix like this with a lot of safety cars?
It depends on the circumstance. I think at this point it is getting a bit annoying, because we sort of stop and start. Like, we are having battles going on, but we're not actually getting the opportunity to see them.
Yeah.
It is infuriating, the safety cars. It is annoying. I can't disagree.
It's tedious, like, you know. So you want to see the battle play out, like, because in a way, I'm not saying we've lost a great battle for the lead.
Yeah.
But could have been a very nice battle for the lead. Basically, we've lost a nice battle for the lead.
Well, I think Noisjob is very much in control of it now. Takacs in P6 is going to have to get through a few cars to try and put up a fight to the AlphaTauri, so he's probably going to run away with it now. Phantom does go into the pit lane, so hopefully he can get to the back of the grid so he can get underway once again. I was going to watch Alfa Romeo because he's in the car doing some top speed. A lot better than seeing the Aston Martin safety car just aimlessly going around in circles.
Yep.
Not sure why, but Phantom Joke is using his ERS under a safety car. I mean, I appreciate it because it shows he's a bit eager to get back up to the grid, but I would never use it under a safety car. Have you ever used battery under a safety car?
No, especially not on softs. If I'm on the softs, I'm not saying I'd go ridiculously slow, but I would be trying to protect them a little bit,
I
you
mean,
know?
for my sake, I'm loving it. If I was actually in Phantom's position, I would try and wait. I would hope to get this safety car out for one more lap.
Yeah,
Because you need to
I wouldn't.
save those softs. I think it is going to scout for one more lap. Or is it?
No, well, it might
No,
be
it's going to
actually.
scout. It's going to scout for one more lap.
That's why he should have gone a bit slower, and he's now almost hit Jordan almost a little bit. The only other thing, when you're going that fast under safety car, like you also risk getting a penalty and making a mistake,
Yeah.
which you just don't need. You know, just keep it in track limits, keep it nice and fine, and yeah, everything's dandy. Still, nice job got his first safety car restart spot on. I imagine he could do the same again.
Is there any change of prediction for you? Do you think Nice Job is going to take this, or do you think Takats can get back into this, or is it a bit too late?
There's 10 laps to go. There's been plenty chaos. I think nice job. It's in his hands to run away with it, as you've just said. But no, I think Takas is probably a bit too far back. But if he gets up into second ahead of his teammate and Ferrari take the 1-2, not the 1-2, sorry, the 2-3, that'd be a pretty decent result. Because do the reserves get their points added on, or
I'm not sure.
how does that work? Fair enough. Because if they do, then that would be a pretty decent day for Ferrari to take a 2-3. Even though Haas have had a very good recovery.
Yeah, but Haas are running pretty well. I mean, they haven't really got the standout driver, but they're both running quite well. Rahman has obviously got a lot of pace. He's carried on from F1 20. He had a superb run at the end of the game, found some unreal pace, which I don't know what came from. But let's see, Nice Job leading the Grand Prix once again. Safety car is now in the pit lane, so it was never when Nice Job chooses to go, he's going to wait on the exit of Ravazza just because I went to put that foot down, sang second gear, and he is gone now. Ferrari's not really in a position where he can't fight. A lot of the gaps aren't really that low enough to really parfait real contest, but Bob is going to gain a lot here. Is this a bit too much of a back for Ascend, or is he going to close up enough? Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit too far back. He was gaining quite a lot though. Hopefully there will be no incidents at the back. I did just lose game audio there for a second, so the glitch is coming.
I've lost. No, I haven't lost. I thought I lost complete game audio.
Nice Job does lead then from Bob Ross, who has got a penalty. So Nice Job's going to try and deploy his battery to try and build up a gap. Takax is right behind one of the cars in his way, which is Rahman. It was the Haas driver sat in P5 at the minute. Taka's going to have to try and find an opportunity. Maybe the first one will be on the exit of Minerali. Get the better traction on the better tyres. Can't really make anything from it. Rahman going to hold off that. There's another yellow flag, and who is that for? I think that's for Langer, maybe.
Looks like a Red Bull. Yeah, it's Mufasa.
Oh, unlucky Mufasa. Bob Ross is really starting to close in on Nice Job now. The audio glitch is on the car, so I'm going to try and avoid going on to the TV pod camera as much as possible. Yeah, that is not great, but oh, Bob Ross is really gaining here. He's got the gap to under a tenth. Bob Ross and Nice Job. Bob Ross ahead into the chicane, makes the move stick. What a move from the Ferrari. Nice job.
Nice job. Good opportunity to come back here. Not quite.
Unreal overtake from Bob Ross. He is now the new leader. Obviously does have that penalty, but he is now leading and he's in control of his own destiny. Takax still stuck behind the Haas. Okay, I cannot go on to any onboard driver. I'm going to have to go just on the game's camera angles, so I do apologise for the game being terrible. So it would be pure game camera they give us. I mean, I'll go try and go onto the TV pods when I can Takax right behind Rahman. He's going to get the move done. Rahman on the exit. Minerali has not done him justice. Takax into P5. And Bob Ross, I did say, is running away with this.
Indeed he is. Wow.
I said you should
I'm
be careful of
surprised.
him.
He's really on a charge here. As Piers makes a mistake and he's off the track, that's going to
Oh
allow
no.
Chris Scott and
Poor Perez.
So Takas is through. He's up to fourth. You know, the only thing penalty wise, obviously, let's not forget Bob Ross does have that penalty which will be added onto his overall race time. So it is 3 seconds.
Yeah. Well, Takax is now into P4. He's not exactly out of the hunt just yet. He will have the benefit of the tyre coming up to the last few laps of the Grand Prix. He's going to start closing in on the Haas of Kristoff now, hunting for that final podium position. Nice job is Skugas keeping in touch with Bob Ross. He's going to pushing the track limits a lot there. Jesus, that is a lot of bollocks on that Ferrari. Takax closing in once again onto Kristoff.
And the two behind, their pace is okay. It's not bad. Takax isn't really making inroads on the Haas driver too much, but we'll have, I think, DRS if it's enabled.
Yep, what I will just quickly do, because I'm not going to be using that audio anymore, I will just turn up the audio for the helicopter cam. Takax is going to gain, and I've lost all audio, the game glitch is really coming in. Takax into P3, makes it very simply with the DRS.
Yeah.
So coming into these final few laps, we are going to have the game glitching in and out of audio, so it is not our fault, we cannot do anything about it, but this game is filled of bugs and they found a way to make a new one. There's another yellow flag which looks like an Alpine of Perez who has lost it.
And Phantom's got a 10-second penalty, so that's going to absolutely...
And Oscar's just picked up a 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane and he has decided to retire from the session. Let's see how quickly Takax can come back into the session. The audio glitch has now fixed itself, which is great. Oh, no it hasn't. Nice job. We'll start to get the DRS now onto Bob Ross, going through Variant to outer and then down into Ravazza. He will get the dosing of the rear wing opening. There's a big ERS difference with these drivers, which I won't say because one of them may be listening and I don't want to give them an advantage. Nice job. Going to start gaining now with the DRS. It is now activated. He's going to try and punch a hole in the slipstream of the Ferrari of Bob Ross. He's going to close in. Not enough, but Takax is really starting to close in now.
You know, could there be a bit of a team play going on here?
Possibly.
Because if Bob Ross is slowing down into... Let's see how he is in the first sector and the middle. Because that gap really comes down in this sector, I've noticed.
I was watching George Matt, who's having a little bit of a scrap with Kristoff. It's a very nice little scrap. As a yellow flag with just like Langer, who is the Williams, who was sat in 14th place, just had a little spin out of Tamburello. George sat right on the back of Kristoff here. Obviously, George does have that penalty. Bob gets a 3-second penalty, and that's not going to help him at all. And George has also just picked up another 3 seconds. Nice job. Right on the back of Bobby. He could have an opportunity with the DRS down into turn 1 to really try and get ahead of Takax, who is coming. George, right on the back. He's going to try and fend off Appledorn here, but he's also going to get the rear wing open for his full attack on the Haas. We're just going to quickly see this overtake before we quickly go up to Nice Job, who is gaining. He is gaining quite a lot. This could be an opportunity for a league on the Grand Prix. Nice Job is just going to back out. George gets the position onto Kristoff, and so does Appledorn. Kristoff lost 2 positions in 1 straight. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is an Aston. Oh, don't you dare. Yes, game, no safety car. That was Ali, who was out of the Grand Prix. Looks like maybe a bit of contact with his teammate. I'm just happy to see there's not a safety car. This best battle at the front is really starting to get interesting. Nice job is falling back a little bit now, which is bringing Takax into the scenario.
Nice job. Really has to be careful on those track limits, I'd say.
Yeah, he's in a position where he's not under any threat really from behind just yet. So he can just tow himself along with the DRS, keep in touch, maybe even get ahead at one point.
The only thing, if I was a Bob, I would be backing Nice Job up right now.
Possibly.
Because you're not going to win the Grand Prix, if you know what I mean. So, yeah.
Right, this is going to be the full-on attack from Nice Job. He's using everything he has to get ahead, and that is that simple for the AlphaTauri. He takes the lead in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Takax too far behind to really pose a threat onto Nice Job. Bob is going to try and keep up, but the battery difference is way too crucial. As of now, Bob in no position to fight.
No, I think that'll be the race done then at the front. Unless he can hang on to the back. Like, they are on the same lap tyres, actually, to be fair. Like, both got 18 lap hold hards. So...
I think the one thing that Nice Job has to be careful about is getting a penalty.
Big tanks lap for Bob, which loses him time.
Yep,
yeah,
he's really starting to fall back. There was a little battle at the back which I just noticed, which was Rahman, who is right on the back of Iron Kid. He's going to try and just use the situation. Oh, Rahman's like a big moment there. And crucially at the front, Bob is out of the DRS.
Yeah, that's very key for his race in terms of how it's going to pan out. Just eases the pressure off him.
Well, let's see what happens between the Ferraris here. So it's a 1.3 second gap. Obviously, Takax is driving the much quicker car at the minute. Will there be a bit of team orders here, or will Bob just try and hold on to his P2 and in the hope of Takax gets a penalty and tries to even it out?
Honestly, I don't really see the point of team orders now.
Especially now, that must be the 9th-second penalty for Bob. He's going to be losing a lot of positions by the end of this race. I think it's probably best for him just to let his teammate by if he gets close enough. And try and get his teammate to have a go at Nice Job. It is a team game. As much as realistically on the F1 23 games, it is all about the driver. The team doesn't really matter too much, but it is skill and award to be won. Getting the constructor's title is skill and achievement you can get. Obviously the drivers is much more preferred, but it is still a team game. The Ferraris sat in second and third. Bob, who's going to be losing the position no matter what. Nice Job, who's just 1.2 seconds ahead, maybe just gets out the way and says, go on Takax, have a go at trying to win this Grand Prix for us. Let's have a quick look. Will he just let him by?
Well, he's got the DRS, Takax has. So...
No, Bob's going defensive. He's using his battery, in fact, to keep that position.
Obviously, Bob is a reserve driver,
yes.
I'm correct in saying. So I guess there's maybe less of an incentive to let Takax by. But the trouble is, it's only going to be a bit futile, if you know what I mean. It's not going to be, in the end, anything beneficial. But I think he has let him by.
Yep, he's let him by, and there is 1.5 laps to go. But is that gap too big for try and get and close in? Obviously, the one thing that Takax has is that neither of them have a penalty, so it's going to be whoever does get a 3 second, or if they get a 3 seconds, that's going to be the road determining factor. At now, Mufasa's picked up a 5 second penalty for exceeding track limits. We'll have a quick look at the penalties because the tyres are pretty irrelevant now. So a lot of penalties, especially for third, fourth and fifth. I think the podium could even go to Christoph in 6th. We have to just be a bit cautious of that. Obviously, from 8th to 13th, they've all got penalties. There's been 6 retirements so far. Takax not close enough. There's been another retirement, which was Mufasa.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I think
And
Bob's going to
Ferrari's coming
re-overtake his
back.
teammate. That must be the Grand Prix over for Takacs in terms of trying to win this Grand Prix. His nose job is way too far ahead. Bob has retaken the position off his teammate, and that is P2 and 3 currently for Ferrari, which would be a good result. But that 9-second penalty will not do him great. However, he could maybe keep a 4th or a 5th due to George and Appledorn both not having penalties. Or, sorry, do having penalties.
Currently, where would he drop down? So he's got 9 seconds. I think he would actually drop down into 4th, potentially.
Yep, which is a bag, but we are just going to go on board with nice job. It seems that he's got this all under control. In the pre-season, I don't remember what he exactly did, but in F1 23, he has found a habit of winning, and he has taken that habit and he's made it a regular occurrence. Nice job in San Marino in the season opener of the European Racing League. He's going to take the win for AlphaTauri. Nice job. Wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Takacs in P2. Bob in 3rd. When is George Mack going to get on the podium? No, he's not. Bob keeps hold of the podium. It's a double podium for Ferrari. Christoph does gain both positions in 4th. George in 5th. Appledorn in 6th. Einkid in 7th. Rahman currently sat in 8th place. Is he going to gain positions? No. Zonneveld gets another 3 seconds. And that looks like Perez, who has had to cut the corner. Oh no, that was Langer maybe. Yeah, it looks like Langer. Just the final few cars coming up to the end of the lap. But it is Nice Job who takes the season opener here in ERL.
Yeah, that was a very good
All he does is win. Zonneveld, P9, Perez. The final car across the line in the points is P10. Phantom coming through Ravazza now. He will take P11, which leaves Langer in P12, the last of the finishing cars. The strategy benefited Nice Job today, it must be said. But as soon as he got that strategy right, he sailed on to the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, well, it was a good, race overall. Lots of action. Too many safety cars, though. So, shall I do the grid rundown?
Absolutely. Or just watch the podium celebrations for Nice Job, obviously. He has taken his first win in ERL, I believe. He may have won Austria, but in terms of ERL and F1 23, he does take his first victory. I know it's the first victory of the season for any driver in Tier 1, but go through the grid rundown. Ology, go ahead.
So, Nice Job. P1, P2, Takas, P3, Bob, P4, Chris, P5, George, P8, P6, Appledom, P7, Iron Kid, P8, Raman, P9, Zon, and then P10, we have RLR Perez. Phantom Joker, P11, Lange, P12, he is the last, I think, finisher of the day.
Yep.
And then the DNFs, we have Mufasa, Ali, Oscar, Charlie, Hershey, LLC, Dirk, OP Gamer, then is the final non-finisher of the day.
Who is your driver of the day?
I'm gonna say Nice Job overall, but actually, yeah, Nice Job. You know, he's done the best job out there.
Yep, absolutely. He's living up to his name. It's a nice job from Nice Job. That has been the season opener here in ERL. We will be back next week at a track I don't know, but we'll be here 8 p.m. Monday. The Wednesday division is going to be running this week, which is also the Tier 2, which runs at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And there we go. Thank you everyone for watching.